What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so SUI just did something it hasn't done all year. It just hit a new year-to-date high, touching $1.08. And I know what some of you are thinking. That's still way below the all-time high of $5.35. And yeah, you're right. But here's the thing. The way SUI got here and everything that's been building up behind this move is actually really interesting. And I want to break down exactly what happened, why it matters, and whether this breakout is the real deal or just another head fake. Quick disclaimer before we get into it. Nothing in this video is financial advice, just my take on the market. Always do your own research. All right, let's go. So first, let's just look at what's actually happening with the price right now. SUI is trading right around 96 cents to $1.08 this week, and it just pushed up to $1.08, which is the highest price it's traded at in all of 2026. The coin is up about 14% over the last 30 days, and trading volume on Coinbase jumped massively. 98% of Coinbase users are currently buying SUI. Not selling, buying. That's a pretty wild sentiment number. But here's the context that matters. SUI hit an all-time high of $5.35 back in January 2025. Then it crashed hard. At its worst point this year, it was down around 80% from that high. So when I say it hit a new year-to-date high, I want to be honest with you. We're not talking about a new all-time high. We're talking about SUI finally reclaiming momentum after months of pain. And the question now is whether this is the start of something bigger or just a relief bounce. Now, to understand what's actually driving this move, we need to talk about what just happened last week because this is the real story here. CME Group, the biggest derivatives exchange in the world, officially launched regulated SUI futures on May 4th. That's just 3 days ago. This is massive. Here's why that matters. There's now a 3-layer institutional access stack around SUI that only Bitcoin and Ethereum had 18 months ago. You've got spot SUI ETFs, 3 of them, from 21 Shares, Grayscale, and Bitwise, that launched back in February. You've got CME futures that just launched this week for hedge funds and institutions to trade with leverage. And on top of that, 75% of all SUI supply is currently staked, meaning most of the coins aren't even sitting on exchanges to be sold. That combination, market-regulated spot ETFs, CME futures, and very low exchange supply, is the same setup that sent Bitcoin on a monster run after its ETF launched. Now, SUI isn't Bitcoin, but the infrastructure being built around it is more serious than most people realize. On the technical side, the MACD on the weekly chart just crossed bullish for the first time in months. That's the clearest momentum signal SUI has shown all year, and 68% of large SUI holders are currently maintaining long positions. The big money isn't running. Now let's talk about what actually makes SUI different from other Layer 1 blockchains because I think this part gets skipped over a lot. SUI can handle up to 120,000 transactions per second on simple transfers. That's not a typo. Solana, which everyone talks about as being super fast, does around 3,000 to 5,000 TPS in normal conditions. SUI is in a completely different league technically. It also just rolled out zero-fee stablecoin transfers, meaning you can move USDC, USDT, and its native USD SUI stablecoin completely for free on the network. They've already processed $1 trillion in stablecoin transfer volume on-chain. That's real usage. That's not just hype. And developer activity is genuinely strong. SUI had the highest GitHub commit rate of any Layer 1 blockchain in all of 2025. Builders are actively building on this thing. So when you put the tech, the institutional rails, and the price setup together, the picture actually looks pretty compelling. Okay, so to wrap it all up, SUI just hit its highest price of 2026. The CME futures launch this week is a genuinely big institutional milestone. The tech is one of the best in the space, and the setup is more interesting than it's been at any point this year. But token unlocks are a real thing, TVL still needs to recover, and history says big institutional launches can lead to short-term dips before the real move higher begins. I'm watching $1.05 very closely. That's the line that tells you whether this breakout has legs or not. Drop a comment below. Are you holding SUI? What's your price target? I'd love to know what you guys think. Smash that like button if this helped, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.